aside from deciding about logical consequence and logical equivalence, there are three types of proof problem that you need to be able to deal with. The first type is disproving a conjecture. So, disproving a conjecture. Now, a conjecture is like an idea, effectively. An idea that is there ready to be either proved or disproved. Okay? And part of our job will be to be given a conjecture, an idea, and we are going to find a way of disproving it, showing that it is false. And usually what that means is finding a number for which it doesn't work. Okay? So we're going to go through an example of that in the next video. The second type of problem that we need to deal with is a way of proving known as proof by exhaustion. Now, that doesn't mean that we get exhausted doing it, but you could do, effectively. The concept of proof by exhaustion is that we are going to try every possible variant until we've gone through all of them, and that will show that it is true. So there are some proofs that lend themselves to proof by exhaustion. There are others that don't. So, for example, if you were going to prove that there were infinitely many prime numbers, you wouldn't use proof by exhaustion because you'd have to go through every single number and to show that they're prime and keep on going forever and ever and ever. Okay, you will never get to the end, so you'd never be able to prove it that way. So there's another type of proof out there known as proof by contradiction, which allows you to prove that there are infinitely many primes, and I'm sure you'll be able to find it somewhere on YouTube. Okay, but we'll go through an example of proof by exhaustion in a coming video. The third and final one is known as proof by deduction. Now, proof by deduction is usually an algebraic method that is employed to prove that one thing is equal to another. Okay? So we use algebra to deduce that the conjecture is correct. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean you've got to use algebra all the time. Sometimes you can give a worded logical argument to say why one thing must be true. Okay? So we will see that also in a coming video. So practicing this can be quite tough in the sense that one question may look completely different to another. So I would definitely advise getting your hands on as many exam questions as possible, just so you can see kind of the concepts and ideas behind the type of problem that you're having to deal with here. Okay? But when you actually hit that question in the exam, it might look very different to any that you've seen before, and you're just going to have to use your initiative to determine how to do it.